Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the video. My name is Bradley, also known as the Swim Coach. Today we're going to be looking at game week 28. Who to have and who not to have. So there's been some interesting things, some injury concerns, some suspensions. So let's get into it. And let's see who I think should be in game week 28. And the reasons why. So let's get into the video. So now, as you can see, there's one player on this list that's on both. Okay, Mateta. Now, I'm going to guess a lot of people did transfer him in before the FA Cup games. Okay, and then since he got his head injury, a lot of people now have taken him out. So it is a bit of a concern. It was an awful tackle, but I think it was more of an accidental awful tackle. But that's sometimes what happens in football. Should it have been a red card against him? Probably. If it was inside the box, I would have probably said no. But that's what can happen. So we do also have suspensions. Cunha is suspended until the 5th. But I do hear that there could be an inquiry of him going a bit longer, having a bigger suspension because of his reaction after getting sent off. And he's had that before. So they may want to increase it even further. Lewis Hall, he's out injured for injury, so he won't be back until next season. So Isaac is on this list, but he did play in the FA Cup, so it could be a tricky one. But fixture-wise, it is against West Ham. They do have a freebie because they've got the Carabao Cup final. Then they have Brentford after that. So, yeah. And then Palace is their extra game, which is going to be game week 32. So that's another thing. You've got to look at your Palace players as well, remember, because of planning. I know it's 4 game weeks away, but that's what you got to have a look at, okay? And I think that's the reason why some people are getting rid of some of their Palace players now. Actually, sorry, it's game week 29, so it's next week. Sorry, my mistake. So, yeah. So, with Palace, they do have Ipswich. They do have a game missing, and then they have Southampton. So, either side of that game week is a bit of a, we say, interesting fixtures. But if they did have that third game, I would have gone, yeah, definitely. But these things do happen in football. There could be another lot of games, game week 34, I believe. But yeah. Justin Cliver. These are players that have been transferred in. So you can see, actually, some of them have been transferred in from Palace. So I think people are looking at those fixtures actually and then gone, okay, we can bench them for game week 29. But then if you've got someone like Salah in there as well, he's going to be on the bench. So you're going to be in a bit tricky situation, I think. And I think for me, that could be a problem as well. Well, I may have someone like Trent, Salah, Rodgers, and Rashford, I think I've got as well. There's 4 players. Isaac, there's 5. That are going to be, I've got to try and look at who to get out, get back in. So it's going to be a bit of a tricky decision. But I think that's what's going to have a look at. We'll have a look at see who else is. Again, Dominic Shababai. I can never. I'm not going to pronounce his name properly. Against Southampton, so you can probably see. Then they've got that extra game week off. So would I want to bring him in? Probably not. Pedro's another one who's in my team. Doing well, but they do have Man City in game week 29, because that could be a bit of a problem. But Brighton are on form, so that's nice. Chris Wood just coming into one of their hardest periods against City. They do then have Ipswich, then they've got United. So then they've got some games that they could win, but also they could lose as well. Owen's doing really well. Got Newcastle this weekend, then got Everton. So they've still got some tricky sides and some hard. No one's got some easy games, okay? City game, Forest, Brighton coming up. Leicester, United game could be a bit of a tricky one as well. So I think everyone's got to look at through that. I can't remember what day the FA Cup semi-final is. Actually, I think it's my birthday weekend, actually. So, yeah, you're talking about, like, here, Chelsea, it would be Everton. So, yeah, if they were, okay. So let's have a look for someone like Liverpool, for example. Spurs. So Spurs game could be cancelled and then rearranged. So you're going to get another game week. And also for those people that are in my league, game week 34 is probably going to be the first round of our cup game. Okay, so it'd be good to see how people get on in our cup. Being the first year we're doing the cup. Now, let's have a look at the top transfers out. As you can see, there's some injury concerns. Okay, Cunha suspended, Hall out, Mateta injured, but he's only on 25%. So there was, I can't remember, was it 24 stitches? I think it was a lot of stitches. Anthony Gordon suspended. He's actually going to miss the Carabao Cup final. So yeah, out injured for the rest of this. I'm going to say probably out for the rest of the season. Or maybe things you don't want to bring them back for in later date. So you never know. It does say unknown date, but I have to see on that. But actually, United's fixtures coming up. Oh my God, there's a lot of red there. Arsenal, Forest, City, Newcastle, all back to back. Well, Leicester in there as well. But yeah, that's a hard fixture run for United coming up. Yes, they've got Arsenal and City at home. That could be lucky for them. But Newcastle and Forest away, again, could be tricky games. So, all to play for. Watkins, because of people, I think, getting ready for the Carabao Cup games that they're going to miss. Same with Rodgers. So I think a lot of that is doing well. Watkins has been on a little bit of a form, so he hasn't got that many points, but he has getting more points. Such, okay. 4.9 per game, the 7th best forward. So there we go. Rashford, I know Rashford's only 3.8, but didn't do well against Palace, but has picked up Ipswich. Liverpool, okay. Chelsea did really well. That was quite nice. Brentford, hopefully he'll do well. Hopefully get himself. No, he won't be able to. He would. I think he would be able to play in the Carabao Cup No, so he has Carabao Cup final weekend off because they didn't make it. They did play. They did play their fixture game. Yeah, they did play their extra game back in game week 25. So their fixture got moved earlier. Newcastle game got moved later. Okay. So yeah. Other than that, they've got only Southampton is an easier fixture. They've got City, they've got Spurs, they've got United. That could be still a tricky ending for fixtures because they may want to fight to get up the leaderboard, especially potentially with us. Well, I say the Premier League, England, potentially having 5 teams now for the Champions League for next season. That could be good. All to fight for. The table is quite close. Goalkeepers, on the other hand, let's have a look at goalkeepers. Top goalkeepers transferred in. I always like this. Becker, good, but again, hasn't got that game week. I can see why people are transferring him in, purely because of Southampton. Have got Everton coming up. Do have some nice little fixtures, I would say. Henderson, Palace. Again, Palace have got that game week off. He's someone that I could potentially have in for this game week. Bench him. Then that's more people that I'm benching, and I want to have my same 2 transfers. I'm not transferring this game week, just purely because of that. Yeah. So, also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this video, thank you very much. I will see you guys on the next one, which will be on the deadline day, which will be, we have 11 a.m. deadline. So my video will probably be coming out around about 9 a.m. in the morning. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely time. If you do want to sub to the channel, please do. If you like this video, hit that like button. It'd be much appreciated. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye from now.